Welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to configure custom metrics for virtual machines in Azure, as well as set up alerting for them. Okay, so let's get right into it. I've got a default virtual machine running in Azure, and if we look at some of the metrics, we can actually see that on the overview page, we've got some metrics by default. So we've got for CPU, network, and some hard drive metrics. Let's say, for example, we have an application running on this virtual machine and it is memory intensive, and we want to see how much memory is still available or free on this virtual machine. We can do that via custom metrics. So if we go scroll down under to the monitoring page under metrics, it will bring up a new metric page. And what you will notice is on the left hand side under available metrics, you will see a drop down list, and it will show you between host and guest. So if you look under host, it will show you the bare metal or the hypervisor terms that you can actually access for metrics. For example, CPU or network or hard drive, everything except, you guessed it, memory. So what we need to do is we have to enable the guest part of it to ensure that we can actually tap into it to get metrics for that. Okay, so how do we do that? You will see on top there's a diagnostic settings part. You go to that, and under the overview it says enable guest level monitoring. So we're going to enable that. We're going to give it a minute, and as soon as that's done, we can resume. Alright, so now that we've successfully enabled the guest OS diagnostics for this virtual machine, we can close this blade. We can go under to available metrics. We can select guest, and there will be a whole lot of new parameters that we have access to. And we are going to search for memory, and we're going to click on available bytes. We're going to give this a title, say we're going to call this available memory. And as you will see, it's going to actually plot a line for us. So you have an option between a line and a bar graph, as well as you can also select a time range, for example, hours or days, or even a custom range. So for the sake, let's choose the past hour and see if it's actually going to update. I'm going to choose a bar graph for this one. And I'm also actually going to pin this to the dashboard. Great stuff. So our chart is now updated, and it actually reflects our custom metric that we have configured so far. Now, what we need to configure is a custom metric alert. So whenever this is triggered, it must notify us via email or web app. Now, the next step will be to create an alert. So if we're still on this blade, we can go to add metric alert. We can give it a name of memory alert. And give it the same description. And we leave the criteria as is. Under metric, we are going to look for memory/available bytes. Please be cognizant that this is bytes, not kilobytes or megabytes or gigabytes. So you will have to do the conversion yourself. I'll actually link a cool website in the description below. Okay, we're going to choose a condition that is greater than 1 byte over a period of 5 minutes. And I'm going to be old school, and I'm going to say it needs to email me when this alert is triggered. And it can email me at one of my email addresses, my Gmails. And you can also do a webhook. And if you really want to be fancy, you can actually do a runbook or even a logic app if you like serverless computing. So when all of this is done, we're going to say OK, and it's going to create this alert for us. Okay, so it's been some time since we've configured our alert, and it was triggered, and we actually received an email. And as you can see, we selected the memory/available bytes for greater than 1 count in the last 5 minutes was activated for this specific virtual machine, and we called our alert memory alert. So if I can give you guys a tip, give it a more distinctive name and description, so you know exactly what alert was triggered for that specific virtual machine. And yes, so this is how it looks. Let's go back to the Azure portal and see how it looks like when an alert was triggered from there. So if we go back to our Azure portal now, and we go under our alerts under the monitoring tab, we can actually see this memory alert has a status of warning, which means it was triggered for the condition for memory bytes greater than 1 byte under that resource group, which is called back office for resource Windows VM, and it was last fired 8 hours ago. So the reason what was 8 hours ago is I just left it. I ran a bit out of time, so as you can see, it will actually show you when it was last fired. And yeah, guys, now you guys know how to create a custom notification as well as metrics for specific virtual machines. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it and it helped you guys out, please, you know what to do. Like the video, subscribe. Thanks.